Iran, Syria, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Russia, North Korea, Mexico, Afghanistan, Yemen, Venezuela, Belarus, and China. These are the countries that the United States currently views as strict enemies and closely monitors their activities. However, most of these countries are unlikely to engage in direct warfare with the U.S. In the future, potential conflicts could arise with Iran, China, North Korea, and Russia. If such conflicts were to occur, they could have a significant impact on various aspects of American life. Ongoing tensions persist between the United States and Russia.
What's Russia's motivation to do this now?
By disputes over Ukraine, cybersecurity, and nuclear arms control. Similarly, the U.S. and China find themselves embroiled in conflicts related to trade, technology, territorial disputes in the South China Sea, and human rights, all with the potential to escalate into larger confrontations. North Korea's provocative actions and its nuclear program have strained relations with the U.S., although diplomatic efforts have been initiated. Meanwhile, long-standing disagreements with Iran, particularly regarding nuclear ambitions and regional influence, contribute to a history of conflict between the two nations. This study aims to help you understand the implications of these scenarios. What I'm trying to convey is that these countries are considered adversaries, but the likelihood of direct war with most of them is low, except for potential conflicts with Iran, China, North Korea, and Russia, which could have far-reaching consequences for the U.S. On December 7, 1941, Japan launched an attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, in which approximately 2,403 Americans lost their lives, and numerous others were injured. Pearl Harbor, Hawaii was chosen as a target by Japan with the aim of gaining a strategic advantage. For Japan, Pearl Harbor was a crucial naval base, and their intention was to weaken the United States Navy through this attack, providing them with an opportunity to enhance their own capabilities. However, this action backfired, leading the United States to enter World War II. Much like Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, there are 9 such places where other countries could take action that would directly impact you, potentially causing shockwaves in your own surroundings. Before we delve into those 9 locations, I want to clarify that this channel is not focused on military or war analysis. The purpose of this channel is to provide you with information related to living well, real estate, relocation, and travel. Hope you understand this. So, these are the 9 locations in America that would become highly volatile and perilous if a war were to break out with an enemy nation. Number 9. Washington Metropolitan Area. The capital city of the United States has several important targets, including the Pentagon, which is the headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense. The Pentagon was previously targeted during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Other likely targets are the White House, where the president lives, and Congress, where laws are made. Additionally, the nearby CIA headquarters could also be a target. About 30 miles southeast of the city, you'll find the Calvert Cliffs nuclear power plant, and about 60 miles southwest is the North Anna Nuclear Generating Station. Number 8. San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, California. San Francisco is located in a challenging geographical position at the northern end of the San Francisco Peninsula, surrounded by the Pacific Ocean and San Francisco Bay. This makes evacuations, in case of emergencies, quite challenging. San Francisco is known for having the 4th largest metropolitan economy in the United States. It's also where Silicon Valley, a major tech hub, extends to. While the city has an emergency plan in place, it doesn't specifically address radiological or nuclear incidents. Number 7. Shreveport-Bossier City. Shreveport-Bossier City, Louisiana, could be considered potentially vulnerable in times of war due to its proximity to strategic targets, economic significance, and role as a transportation hub. While it may not be a primary focus, its location and importance in industries like oil and gas might expose it to secondary effects during times of conflict, contingent upon specific circumstances and the nature of hostilities. Number 6. Greater Houston. Houston is a concerning place in the event of war, particularly in a nuclear context. It's one of 6 probable civilian targets, despite its low population density, which can make it easier for adversaries to target strategic locations. Houston's health department has a preparedness plan for radiological incidents, and the nearby South Texas Project Nuclear Generating Station, situated approximately 65 miles from the city's outskirts, raises concerns about potential radiological impacts. These factors collectively make Houston a potentially vulnerable location during times of conflict. Number 5. Chicago. Chicago could be considered vulnerable in the event of a conflict due to its significant economic importance, role as a vital transportation hub, dense urban population, and strategic location in the Midwest. While not necessarily the worst location, its disruption could have wide-ranging implications on the nation's economy and transportation networks, making it a potentially high-value target for adversaries seeking to impact regional stability. Number 4. Seattle metropolitan area. While not in close proximity to specific strategic targets, finds itself positioned between two high-priority locations. Given its geographical placement and population density, evacuation challenges could arise. The presence of Naval Base Kitsap, housing various submarines, including Trident II armed submarines, and Nimitz-class aircraft carriers, makes it a strategic importance. Furthermore, Naval Radio Station Jim Creek services as a VLF transmitter for the Pacific submarine fleet. Notably, Russian state television identified these facilities, including Seattle, as probable targets in the event of a nuclear strike in 2019. Number 3. Hawaii, especially the Honolulu area. The U.S. Navy's VLF transmitter in Lualualei is a facility that sends messages to submarines deep underwater using very low-frequency signals. This kind of capability is crucial if the U.S. needs to launch a submarine-based attack. There's another similar facility in Cutler, Maine, but it's far from major cities and not on our list. While a direct hit on the Lualualei transmitter might not affect Honolulu directly, the options for evacuating the island are limited. Oahu, where Honolulu is located, is also home to several military bases, including Pearl Harbor, which is famous for the Japanese attack in 1941. Number 2. Florida. Due to its high population density, strategic geographic position, military installations, and significant tourism industry, with densely populated cities like Miami and Tampa, strategic locations such as major ports and airports, and various military bases, Florida's importance could make it a potential target for adversaries looking to disrupt urban centers, commerce, and military infrastructure. However, the degree of vulnerability would depend on the nature of the conflict and the specific geopolitical circumstances at the time. Number 1. New York City. New York City is considered a prime target in the event of conflict with certain countries due to its economic significance, dense population, cultural and political importance, role as a major transportation hub, and symbolic value as the largest city in the U.S. These factors make it a potentially high-value target for adversaries seeking to disrupt American society and send a message. These 9 places we've discussed are not necessarily guaranteed targets. It depends on the circumstances at that time. However, the impact of any potential attacks on these 9 locations is likely to be more significant compared to other areas. If you happen to reside in one of these places, there's no need to be alarmed. Just keep this information in mind as general knowledge, because launching attacks on these locations is not an easy task for other countries. If such a situation were to arise, there's a higher likelihood that it could escalate into a global conflict, potentially resembling World War III.